On a warm island night, somewhere along the Jamaican coast, the sea is breathing in and out, and the sky is full of quiet stars. A gentle breeze moves through the palm trees, and in the distance, a drum begins to speak in a low, steady pulse. You are invited now to settle in, to find a comfortable place to rest, and to let your body become heavy and calm. Your eyes may stay open for a while, or they may slowly close as you listen. There is nothing you need to do. There is nowhere else you need to be. For this moment, it is just you, the soft night, and the timeless story of Jamaican dance. Jamaica is a land that tells its story through movement. Every sway of the hips, every step across the earth, every gentle turn of the shoulders carries memory. This island has danced through centuries of change. It has danced through joy and through struggle, through celebration and through stillness. The dances of Jamaica are like a long, flowing river of memory, and tonight we will drift along that river together. Take a slow breath in and a gentle breath out. As you rest, imagine the island as it once was, long ago. Before lights, before cars, before crowded streets. Imagine hills covered in deep green, tall trees standing like guardians, and the sound of birds settling into their nests as night comes on. Somewhere, in a clearing surrounded by trees, people begin to gather. They carry with them stories from faraway lands. They carry rhythms in their hands and in their hearts. These are the African roots of Jamaican dance. They arrived across the ocean, but they were never truly left behind. They lived in memory, in the body, in the drum. Kumina, the spirit of the ancestors. In the soft darkness, a circle forms. At its center, drums are placed carefully on the ground. The drummers sit, hands ready, faces calm and focused. The first sound is a gentle heartbeat on the drum, slow and steady. Then another drum answers, weaving in a second rhythm, and then another, until the air is full of layered sound. This is Kumina. Kumina is more than a dance. It is a way of calling upon the ancestors, a way of remembering the people who came before. It has roots in Congo traditions, carried to Jamaica by those who were taken from their homelands and brought to this island. In Kumina, they found a way to stay connected, to stay whole. Picture the dancers moving in a slow, circular pattern. Their feet press firmly into the earth, grounding them. Their shoulders roll gently to the drum. Hips sway, knees bend and straighten, and arms rise and fall like waves. They are not simply performing, they are entering a sacred conversation, one that crosses time and space. The night is quiet, except for the drums, the soft call of voices singing in an old language, and the rustle of feet on the ground. A candle flickers. A kerosene lamp hums softly. The scent of earth and wood smoke fills the air. Kumina is a bridge between worlds. The drummers know the rhythms by heart. They have heard them since childhood. They watched their elders play the same patterns and their elders before them. Each pattern has its own meaning, its own purpose, its own shape in the air. The dancers move in small, grounded steps. They lean into the circle, then out. They tilt their heads as if listening to something just beyond the edge of hearing. The music goes on and on, wrapping around everyone present, and slowly the ordinary world falls away. As you listen, imagine that you are standing at the edge of that circle. You feel the drum in your chest, like a second heartbeat. Your breathing becomes slower, matching the gentle rise and fall of the rhythm. You do not need to move. You can simply watch and feel and rest. Kumina whispers a reminder. Nothing is truly lost. The memories of those who came before live on in music, in ritual, in dance. Every step says, "We remember. We are still here." You might imagine one particular night. Perhaps rain has fallen earlier, and the earth is cool and slightly damp. The air is thick with the scent of leaves. People arrive slowly, wrapped in shawls and head ties, in simple, comfortable clothes. They greet each other in soft voices, with smiles and nods. Children sit at the edges, watching, eyes wide and curious. The ceremony begins with a song, low and steady. A leader calls out a phrase, and others answer with their voices. The drums join in, and slowly the first dancer steps into the circle. They move with a calm, steady grace. Each gesture seems to flow into the next. Around them, the circle responds, swaying gently, hands clapping softly on the offbeat. Time stretches. Minutes become hours. The night deepens. Stars turn overhead. The dance continues. Kumina is patient. It does not rush. It is as slow and strong as a tree, as a river carving its path over many years. Its purpose is not to entertain, but to connect, to bring together the living and the remembered, to open a space where the past and present can breathe together for a while. As you rest, you may notice your own breathing becoming a little deeper, a little more relaxed. The idea of a circle, of gentle repetition, of steady rhythm can be comforting. Just as Kumina circles around the drum, your thoughts can circle softly around this idea. You are part of a long story, and for now, you are allowed to rest. The long shadow of time. Over time, as the island changed, other influences arrived. Ships came and went. New languages, new customs, new expectations appeared. The people of Jamaica, carrying their African memory, found themselves under new rules and new pressures. And yet, the dances continued. In quiet yards and village squares, in hidden spaces and open fields, people kept moving, kept drumming, kept singing. Each dance became a way of adjusting, of responding, of finding balance between old and new. Now imagine the island in a different light. It is daytime, and the sun is bright. A great house stands on a hill, its veranda wide, its rooms full of echoes. On the lawn below, men and women gather in neat clothes, standing in pairs. The music is not drums now, but fiddles, guitars, and banjos. The rhythm is European in origin, but it has learned to sway with Jamaican hips and swing with Jamaican humor. This is the world of the quadrille. Quadrille, elegance and fusion. The quadrille began in the courts of Europe, in grand ballrooms with chandeliers and polished floors. In Jamaica, it found new soil. Here, it became something different. A dance of elegance, yes, but also of adaptation. A place where African sensibility and European form met and mingled. Imagine the dancers lined up, facing each other. The music begins with a gentle, lilting melody. Perhaps it is played on a violin, a banjo, a rumba box, and a maraca, blending together. A caller might announce the figures. First figure, second figure, guiding everyone through the pattern. The dancers step forward and back, bow and curtsy, turn and change partners. Their steps are precise, but their bodies are loose, relaxed, full of quiet humor. As they glide through the figures, the structure of the dance, its ordered squares and lines, holds them. Within that structure, though, they bring their own flavor, their own timing, their own grace. Mento music gives the quadrille a distinctly Jamaican heartbeat. The bass lines roll like gentle waves, while the melody steps lightly on top. There might be a hint of syncopation, a playful offbeat that belongs to the Caribbean rather than Europe. The result is a dance that looks familiar to those who know European styles, but feels unmistakably Jamaican. As you picture the quadrille, you might see the colors of dresses swirling, whites and pastels, blues and soft yellows. You might imagine the sound of shoes on grass or wooden floors, the quiet murmur of conversation between dances, the laughter when someone misses a step and then catches up again. Quadrille is a conversation without words. It tells of a time when Jamaica was negotiating its identity under colonial rule, blending what was imposed from outside with what was cherished from within. The dance says, "We see your patterns and we will make them our own." Allow your mind to move gently between the image of the Kumina circle at night, lit by firelight, and the quadrille figures by day, lit by the sun. Both are dances. Both carry memory. Both hold pieces of Jamaica's story. As you drift between these scenes, you may notice that your body grows heavier and more relaxed. You are simply listening, observing, being carried along by the long, slow rhythm of history. Bruckins, the dance of emancipation. Time moves forward again. The island changes once more. A great turning comes. Emancipation. The formal end of slavery brings both relief and new uncertainty. People who have long been bound now take their first steps in a different kind of world. And so, a dance emerges to mark this new reality. Bruckins. Bruckins is often performed around Emancipation Day, and it carries within it both European and African threads. It is a dance of pageantry, of ceremony, of dignity. Those who dance Bruckins might dress as kings and queens, princes and princesses. There may be crowns and sashes, long dresses and decorated coats. The movements are deliberate, with a distinctive rolling of the hips, a regal carriage of the head. Imagine a line of dancers entering a village square. Children watch from the sides. Grandparents sit on benches or on steps, smiling as they remember earlier years. The music begins, at times borrowed from European marches, at times infused with local flavor, and the dancers proceed with measured steps. They bow to one another. They circle. They form patterns that echo court dances. Yet something in the rhythm, the sway of the hips, the tilt of the shoulders, tells you this is not a simple imitation. It is transformation. It is reclaiming. In Bruckins, there is a subtle, quiet triumph. For so long, images of royalty and grandeur belonged to distant places and rulers who held power over the island's people. Here, in this dance, those same symbols are worn by people who were once denied their freedom. They wear crowns now, not as copies of others, but as signs of their own worth, their own story. As you imagine the dancers of Bruckins, you might notice how dignity shows up in small details. The careful placement of a foot, the slow raising of a chin, the steady meeting of eyes. There is no rush. The dance unfolds like a ceremony. It says, "We have come through, and we are still standing." And just as you feel that quiet strength, you let your muscles soften a little more. The sense of ceremony can be soothing. It reminds you that, in many journeys, there are moments when we slow down, put on our finest selves, and step forward with intention. Junkanoo. Color, rhythm, and celebration. Now imagine another celebration, one that is louder, brighter, full of movement and sound. The night is alive with color. Masks, feathers, bells, and beads flash in the torchlight or under the street lamps. Drums pound in steady patterns. Horns, rattles, and whistles add their voices to the night. This is Junkanoo. Junkanoo is a festival with deep roots in African traditions. During the time of slavery, when days were long and harsh, there were brief windows, holidays, special days, when enslaved people could gather, sing, dance, and celebrate. In those moments, they remembered their homelands. They remembered their customs. They danced not only to forget their burdens, but to hold on to who they were. The origins of the name Junkanoo are often linked to an African leader, Junkanoo. His name, carried across time and space, became associated with these celebrations of music and dance. In Jamaica and across the Caribbean, Junkanoo became a powerful symbol of survival and joy. Picture the parade slowly entering a street. Dancers move in groups, wearing costumes that they may have spent weeks or months creating. There are tall headdresses, painted faces, elaborate designs made from simple materials transformed by creativity. The dance steps are energetic, but they can also be slow and deliberate, depending on the rhythm of the drums. The sound is constant. Boom of the bass drum, tap of the sticks, shake of the maracas. People on the sidelines clap, call out, and sway. Children weave in and out. Elders clap along, remembering their own younger days. Even when Junkanoo is lively, even when it is full of sound and color, there is a deep current of meaning underneath. It is a reminder that even in constrained circumstances, people found ways to celebrate. They found ways to honor their heritage, to resist being erased, to claim joy. As you listen to this, you can let the sharp edges of the sound soften in your imagination. Instead of a loud parade, you might imagine it as a series of gentle waves of color and movement passing by your mind's eye. Each wave brings a sense of energy and then drifts away. You can watch without effort, without strain. Bruckins and Junkanoo, side by side, show two different faces of Jamaican celebration. One is regal and measured, the other wild and festive. Both carry the same message. Determined, we are here. We remember, and we will dance. gentle transition through time. Now, allow the scenes to fade as if the lights are slowly dimming. The music of Bruckins and Junkanoo grows quieter. The costumes are put away. The drums are stored. The squares and streets grow still again. Time moves forward once more. We step into a new century. The world changes. Technology arrives. Radios, then records, then cassettes and CDs, then digital music. Each new wave of sound brings possibilities. Jamaica, with its deep well of rhythm and creativity, responds by shaping new styles. On the island, in recording studios, in crowded dance halls and on street corners, new beats begin to form. They are faster, sharper, full of syncopation and swing. This is the era of ska, the beginning of a modern Jamaican sound. Ska, the upbeat pulse. Imagine a small dance hall in Kingston. The walls are close. The air is warm. A band stands on a low stage, instruments ready. Horns, guitar, piano, bass, drums. Someone counts off the tempo, and suddenly the room fills with bright, jumping rhythms. Ska music is quick and lively, with accents on the offbeats that make your shoulders want to bounce. The dancers respond with quick steps, sharp turns, and playful kicks. They move together in pairs or in small groups, their feet tapping out patterns that match the music's energy. Even though ska is upbeat, there is still something relaxed in the way Jamaicans move to it. The knees might bend deeply, the spine stays loose, the arms swing with easy confidence. Dancers do not just follow the beat, they ride it, as if surfing on a wave of sound. This music grows out of many influences: American jazz and rhythm and blues, local mento traditions, and the ever-present African sense of rhythm. But as it takes shape in Jamaica, it becomes its own thing, a sound and a dance that belong to the island's youth. In your mind, you can slow down the movement. Instead of seeing fast steps, you can imagine them in gentle, slow motion. A foot leaving the ground, turning lightly, settling back down. A hand reaching out to a partner, a head tilting with a smile. Let the details stretch out, like watching a memory float by in the water. Ska opens the door to something else. As the years go by, the tempo slows. The music becomes more spacious. The bass line steps forward, deep and insistent. The lyrics begin to speak more directly about life, struggle, and hope. Ska melts into rocksteady, and rocksteady melts into reggae. Reggae, heartbeat of the island. Now the tempo relaxes. The beat becomes heavy and grounded, like a steady heartbeat. The offbeat guitar chops become more pronounced, gently chopping at the air. The bass moves like a calm, deep river underneath everything. The drums settle into a comfortable, unhurried groove. This is reggae. Reggae is not just a style of music, and the dances that come with it are not just steps. Together, they express a way of living, a way of seeing the world. Reggae is intertwined with the Rastafarian movement, with its spiritual beliefs, its emphasis on dignity, justice, and connection to the divine. Imagine standing in a small yard, a sound system set up under a mango tree, large speakers carefully positioned, a DJ selecting records, friends gathered, some leaning against a wall, some sitting on a low bench, some already moving to the music. The reggae rhythm begins, and bodies respond almost automatically. The knees bend slightly. The torso leans forward and back. The head nods gently. The hips move in a slow, relaxed sway. No one is in a hurry. The dance is about feeling the groove, not performing for an audience. As you imagine this, you might feel your own body wanting to sway just a little, even if you are lying down. The comfort of the reggae groove is that it invites you to move just enough to feel alive, but not enough to disturb your rest. It is a music of balance. Reggae lyrics often speak of challenges, of inequality, of longing for a better world. But even when the words are heavy, the rhythm is soothing, steady, and reassuring. It says, "We are still here. We are still hopeful." In the dance, this hope shows up in the way people connect. Two friends might dance side by side, not touching, each in their own space, but sharing the same rhythm. A couple might move close together, eyes closed, breathing in time with the music. Children might bounce lightly at the edge of the circle, copying the motions of their elders. Reggae spreads far beyond Jamaica. Soon, people in distant countries are listening, learning the steps, feeling the groove. The island's heartbeat travels across oceans and settles into new hearts. As you rest, you can imagine yourself under that mango tree, feeling the bass gently massage the air around you. The sky overhead is full of stars, and the night is not too hot, not too cool. The music continues, one song fading into another, like waves on a shore. Dancehall, energy and expression. Time moves again. New generations grow up. They inherit the rhythms of ska and reggae, but they also carry their own experiences, their own voices, their own needs. In the dance halls and on the streets, another evolution begins. Dancehall. Dancehall is both a style of music and a kind of space. A dance hall, a gathering place, a culture. The music is more electronic, the beats sharper, the bass deeper. The tempo can be quicker, the lyrics more direct. The dancing becomes more athletic, more expressive, full of bold gestures and creative moves. Imagine a dance hall at night. The lights are low. Colored lights spin slowly across the floor. The sound system is powerful, sending bass notes through the ground and into the body. People arrive dressed in their best, in clothes that express their style. Bright colors, sharp lines, unique combinations. When the music drops, the dancers respond with an explosion of movement. They bend, twist, jump, spin, and roll. There are signature moves, new dances invented every few months, spreading from neighborhoods to cities to the world via videos and social media. The names of the dances might be playful, tied to everyday life, jokes, or local slang. Dancehall can be intense. It can be daring. It can push the body to its limits. But for our sleepy, gentle journey, you can imagine these movements in a softened way, as if the dancers are moving underwater. Each jump and spin slowed down, each pose held just a moment longer. At its core, dancehall is about freedom of expression. For many young Jamaicans, it is a way to be seen, to be heard, to show who they are in a world that may often overlook or misunderstand them. It is a place where style, creativity, and courage come together. The steps might look very different from Kumina, Quadrille, Bruckins, or Junkanoo, but the root is the same. The body telling a story. The feet, hips, and hands speaking a language that may not be written down, but is deeply understood by those who share it. As you listen, you might think of dancehall as a bright flame at the edge of our quieter night. You can see it from a distance, feel its warmth, appreciate its vitality, even as you continue to rest in your own calm place. Limbo, bending through the threshold. Now, we widen our view beyond Jamaica alone to the wider Caribbean. Among the dances shared across the region, one stands out for its striking image: a person bending backward, moving under a low pole, closer and closer to the ground. This is Limbo. Limbo is often seen as a game at celebrations, a playful test of flexibility and skill. But underneath the play, there is a deeper symbolic meaning. Many people understand Limbo as representing passage, the movement from one state to another, from life to death, from endings to new beginnings. Imagine a simple scene. Two people hold a long stick or pole between them. A crowd gathers around in a circle, clapping gently in rhythm. A drummer or a band plays a steady beat. One by one, dancers step forward to try their turn. The first time, the pole is high. Almost everyone can pass under it. They lean back, feet stepping carefully, eyes on the sky. The crowd claps and cheers softly as they emerge on the other side, smiling. Then the pole is lowered. The challenge grows. Some make it, some don't. Laughter bubbles up, but it is kind and light, not cruel. Each attempt is a small journey. Each successful pass is a little moment of triumph. As the pole sinks closer to the ground, those who try must bend deeply, their spines curved like the arc of a bow, their shoulders nearly touching the earth. For a moment, they seem to float backward under the stick, balanced between falling and standing. In your mind, you can slow this moment down. Picture a dancer suspended at the lowest point of their bend, the pole just inches above their chest, their eyes calm, their body trusting the rhythm. Around them, the watchers hold their breath. The drum continues. Boom, boom, boom. If the dancer makes it through, the circle erupts in joy. If they fall, the laughter and encouragement wrap around them like a soft blanket. Limbo has been interpreted by many as a symbol of the Middle Passage, the long and painful crossing of the Atlantic by enslaved Africans. The bending low, passing under, and rising again can be seen as reflecting a journey through hardship into survival. For tonight, we can hold both the playfulness and the depth of Limbo. We can see it as a reminder that the human spirit can adapt, bend, and still rise again. That even when the bar feels impossibly low, there is a rhythm to follow, a community to cheer us on. As you think of Limbo, you might allow yourself to release any tightness in your own body. You do not have to bend under any bar. You can simply lie still and let the earth hold you, knowing that rest is also a part of the dance of life. The living tapestry of Jamaican dance. Now, let us step back and see the whole tapestry at once. We began with Kumina, under the night sky, close to the earth, drums calling to ancestors. We moved through the elegance of Quadrille, with its ordered figures and gentle mental music. We joined the dignified procession of Bruckins, celebrating freedom with royal costumes and proud steps. We entered the bright, swirling world of Junkanoo, full of color, sound, and joyful resistance. We felt the quick, playful energy of ska, and then rested in the slower, deeper groove of reggae, with its steady heartbeat and hopeful spirit. We glimpsed the electric creativity of dancehall, where new generations carve out their identity through daring moves and bold style. We passed beneath the symbolic arc of Limbo, bending into challenge and emerging again. All of these dances, though different in tempo, form, and mood, are linked by a common thread. They are ways of telling the story of Jamaica, a story of people brought from far away, who planted roots in new soil. A story of blending and adapting, of holding on and letting go. A story of joy carved out in the midst of difficulty, of strength wrapped in rhythm. As you drift deeper into relaxation, you can imagine these dances not as separate chapters, but as one long, flowing movement. Perhaps you see them as different colors of light, moving across the sky. Deep red for Kumina, gold for Quadrille, royal purple for Bruckins, bright green and blue for Junkanoo, shining white and black for ska, warm orange for reggae, neon flashes for dancehall, and a soft silver for limbo. These colors swirl and blend, forming new shades, new patterns. They never fully disappear. Even when one color fades, you can still see a hint of it beneath the others, a reminder that nothing in this story is truly lost. Jamaican dance continues to evolve. In studios, community centers, and open fields, young dancers are mixing old and new, creating fresh styles that still carry the echoes of Kumina, Quadrille, and all the rest. Social media allows these dances to travel even faster than before, turning local steps into global waves. And yet, somewhere on the island, on any given night, you might still find a quiet circle forming, drums being tuned, candles being lit, as Kumina begins. Somewhere else, a group might rehearse a quadrille set for a festival. On Emancipation Day, Bruckins might take to the streets once more. During holidays, Junkanoo-style parades still bring color and sound to towns and cities. The dance continues. A soft landing. As our journey through Jamaican dance winds down, you can feel yourself arriving gently back in your own space. The images of dancers begin to grow faint, like the last echoes of music at the end of a long night. You may remember the circle of Kumina, the steady drums, the soft chanting, and the sense of being connected to something older and wiser than yourself. You may remember the careful steps of Quadrille, the slow dignity of Bruckins, the sparkling energy of Junkanoo and ska, the deep sway of Reggae, the bold lines of Dancehall, and the graceful arc of Limbo. You do not need to hold them all clearly in your mind. It is enough to know that they are there, part of a living, breathing tradition, part of a world that continues to move and change, even as you rest. Now, imagine once more that you are standing on a Jamaican beach at night. The sky is dark and endless, sprinkled with stars. The water laps softly at the shore. Far away, you might hear a drum or a distant song, but here, close to the water, it is quiet. The sand beneath your feet is cool and soft. The air smells of salt and distant wood smoke. Each breath you take fills you with calm. The island is at rest, and so are you. If you wish, you can imagine the spirit of the dances resting too, like gentle shadows on the sand. The outline of a dancer mid-step, a circle of footprints, the faint shape of a drum. They are always ready to awaken again when the time is right. But for now, they can be still. You are part of the same great rhythm. Your heartbeat, slow and steady, joins the heartbeat of the drums, the pulse of the waves, the rise and fall of the wind. Even in stillness, you are dancing in your own quiet way. Allow your thoughts to grow soft and hazy, like mist over the hills. Allow your body to sink a little deeper into comfort. You have traveled through centuries of movement, through stories of resilience and joy. Now, you can let the story fade into silence. If sleep is coming to you, you can welcome it gently, like an old friend. If you are simply resting, you can stay here, floating in this calm space as long as you wish. In the distance, the last drumbeat fades. The last song comes to an end. The dancers step out of the circle, fold their clothes, and head home through the quiet streets. The island sighs, and the night grows deeper. May your dreams be filled with soft rhythms, kind faces, and the comfort of knowing that somewhere the dance goes on.